Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20 plus years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video, we'll be replacing the hub on this 98 Pontiac Grand Prix. This hub fits a whole bunch of different GM cars: Buick Century, Regal, Cadillac Deville, Eldorado, Oldsmobile, Chevy Impala, Monte Carlo, Bonneville, Grand Prix, Montana Transport, Chevy Venture, all kinds of different stuff. Here's the list of tools you need for the Grand Prix. Really what you need is basically metric sockets from 13 millimeters up to 19 millimeters, plus the large hub nut, which is anywhere from 32 to 35 millimeters, and then the rest of the stuff, and plus throw in there some penetrating oil and a hammer and rubber mallet. And if your hub doesn't come apart as easily as the one it did in this video, you may need an axle or a gear puller.
Okay, if you're working with hand tools, start on the ground, remove your lug nut covers, and loosen up your lug nuts. I've got the benefit of air tools, so I'm going to raise and secure the car and remove the wheel and tire. Okay, so I've removed the wheel and turned the wheels all the way to the right here so I can access the brake caliper bolts, which is the inside ones, one here, okay, and then this one here. Okay, those bolts are 15 millimeter. I'm going to remove them. Okay, you don't want the brake hose on the caliper to be stressed, so I just kind of took a wire tie and tied the caliper up here. Remove the brake disc. You want to be careful not to touch the disc, and if you do touch it, just clean it off with some rubbing alcohol or mineral spirits when you put it back together. Okay, now there's 3 bolts that hold the hub on. You go in behind here and show them to you. Okay, there's one here, okay, one up in the middle there, and then back here next to this is the steering tie rod, there is one right there. To help out, I'm going to use a little penetrating oil right on the opposite sides. Okay, so now we're going to remove those bolts. They're 13 millimeter. Half-inch is a standard equivalent actually and fits. And I'm using 3/8 drive tools. So I'm going to remove those 3 bolts. And the reason you have to use this size tool is to get in behind on this top one. You need smaller tools in order to get in there. Okay, but then you need a nice big handle to work it.
Okay, so just going to kind of fast forward through here as I remove these 3 bolts, and as you can tell, they take quite a bit of force to get going. It'll help if you have a large breaker bar, and then just I swivel the steering back and forth to make it easy to get to the bolts on each side.
Okay, now I'm going to remove the middle hub nut. Now I have impact tools, so that makes it fairly easy. If you don't have impact tools, what you want to do is, before you remove the brake caliper, have somebody hold the brakes, and then with hand tools you can pull that hub nut off. And this hub nut is 35 millimeters, so you'll need a 35 millimeter socket. Okay, now you need to get the axle back out. Okay, now you don't want to use a hammer and whack it hard, but what I do is just give it a check. Okay, if I see it move a little bit with the hammer, which it does, then all I do is break out the rubber mallet and whack away. Rubber mallet's not going to hurt the insides of your CV joint. Okay, so now I have the two lower bolts out. The top one's really loose, so now it's kind of a matter of not being nice. Just kind of pound on each side of the flange, and the hub works. You slowly work the flange out of the steering knuckle. Okay, so I have the hub work loose. Now I'm just removing the top bolt the rest of the way. I just kind of left it in there in case I hit it hard enough and it just came flying out, just safety. Just unplug the harness right here. You flip up with this on with your thumb. Pull it off. Okay, so this is what you'd rather not see happen. Basically, the hub has been in there so long, the back part stayed in the steering knuckle, and this came apart. So what I'm going to have to do is use some driving tools and just try and drive the rest of it out of the steering knuckle. As you'll see, it turns out not to be much of a problem. You just beat on it with the punch and hammer and it pops out. Don't worry about damaging it or anything like that. I poked a few holes in it. You just want to push the clip off of this bracket. Okay, and then the rest of that comes out. What you're going to do is push in on the axle and kind of up a little bit. Okay, and your connector comes out. Just clean up some of the corrosion on here. And then I'm just going to use some penetrating oil. Just to lubricate it for the new one to go in. Okay, so here's our new hub from Monte Auto. Okay, and not only is it prettier and shinier, it's all in one piece, as it should be, as opposed to three separate pieces. But if you kind of use your imagination here, you can see that this is all the same. It's going to bolt up the same, and we're going to put it in, and it's not going to make a big groaning, grinding noise. Okay, so that ends this part of this video, part 1. Check out our other videos to see the installation of the hub. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.